What's up, y'all? It's your boy JTMM, aka JustTenMoreMinutes, aka the Freaking 10, back again with another video. This time on our journey through Jinjer's Wallflowers, we're covering Sleep of the Righteous, which was released last year, 2021. As usual, what we see that, you know, everybody gets credit for the song, and I'm sure they all have their inputs, which again, I love about the band. Very cohesive group effort. I love it. There's not much else to say. I'm very interested to see what this is about. I've pre-warned on other Jinjer videos that I'll say the same thing. You know, this is a very introspective CD. So again, it fascinates me with how Tatiana and the band put these into words with their feelings and describing the situations. And it blows me away each and every time. So with that being said, I've got the lyrics ready. Let's get to it. All right. Definitely a lot harder. Oh, I love it.
The rush of fear to live and sleep, with just a thread of my life. What if I simply let it in? I clench my jaws and take the blow.
I like the build.
As I lay, I slowly fade away.
Nice mix on those vocals.
Into a place of inevitability. And why is it happening?
That transition. All right, so I'm going to stop it there because this is interesting on how it starts, right? So the rush of fear to even sleep with just a thread of hope I have. What if I simply let it in or clench my jaws and take the blow? As I lay, I slowly fade away into a place of inevitability. And why is it happening to me? I'm full of life, but I can't breathe. So the pause there, I'm kind of calculating my thoughts here because it's talking about, there's two main lines that kind of point me in a direction. The rush of fear to even sleep. And then the last one of, I'm full of life, but I can't breathe. Because it obviously when you mention sleep, the first thing you're talking about to me is like a nightmare, right? What if I simply let it in or clench my jaws and take the blow? And it's inevitable that it's going to happen. And why is it happening to me? I'm full of life, but I can't breathe. So obviously, I mean, I'm picturing nighttime. Is it anxiety? You know, I mean, well, sorry. There's an anxiety of what happens when they sleep. And I don't know whose song this is, right? Some of them have written. I'm interested to see where it goes. Let's keep listening. I want to see where these lyrics go. Nice mix there.
From the darkness, my body burns. It is present, as I softly sing into the dream. The door is open, I can't resist. I count the blast upon the bedroom table. The storm outside to fight to stop. The room grows colder and it's present. I'm not a fire. Let me burn. Let me burn. I see in shadows. The black is black.
Okay.
The white is gray from ear to ear. I stay and still like a snake. I feel two thumbs upon my back.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop it there because they're going through very quickly. In fact, I'm gonna rewind it just a tad there. So it appears from the darkness. My body burns in its presence as I softly sink into the dream. The door is opened. I can't resist. A candle placed upon the bedroom table. The storm outside defies to stop. The room grows colder in its presence. I'm not your fire. Let me burn. Let me burn. I see its shadow, the blackest black, the whitest grin from ear to ear. I see its tail like a snake. I feel two palms upon my back. So, I mean, we heard, you know, obviously at first, right, the rush of fear to even sleep, and then the fading away into the place of inevitability. I'm full of life, but I can't breathe. It appears from the darkness. And so really it just, I see its shadow, the blackest black, the whitest grin from ear to ear. So it really paints a picture of fear of going to sleep. And I mean, I'm looking at it, you know, from multiple avenues, because the rush of fear to even sleep. Why is it happening to me? I'm full of life. I can't breathe. I mean, it just feels like a wave of anxiety, right? I mean, I don't know if it's about a nightmare or some type of issue with sleeping. This one hits differently. I mean, this is dark. And, you know, I don't mean that in a bad way, right? But these lyrics, I mean, they're just painting a darker picture than what we've kind of seen, right? I mean, we've seen stuff in Mediator. And Disclosure and Copycat, where, you know, it's definitely still hard hitting, but this goes to a whole nother level. I'm gonna go back let's go right there. All right, let's see where it goes. I mean, it's got quite a bit to go, so let's go. I like that melody a lot. Nice switch. Repeating that same line, getting that point across. Okay. Nice switch. I'm gonna let it finish. Oh, that was an abrupt stop. Okay, that will always catch you off guard, right? Because you could play another measure or two um, for the ending, but I mean, it was just like that, and it's a really cool symbolism of I was dragged to hell, but now I'm free. Boom, 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 stop. Right? It doesn't leave you on the music itself. It leaves you on that lyric of, but now I'm free. That's a pretty cool point. Visions spark before my eyes like a forest flame. I am ready to confess in every crime I never did. And why is it happening to me? I'm full of life, but I cannot breathe. So going back to that um, line up top, scream and shout, don't want a sound. My body lost its structure. I swore I'll start to believe in God if he could give me rapture. The lifelong terror, halftime dream. Eternal minutes feel surreal. The next line is where I think this was talking about, but I could be wrong. I plead my Savior to release me. The Savior I call will. What has just happened to me? I was dragged to hell, but now I'm free. So when I saw the word the lyric of I feel two palms upon my back, and looking at this from a an introspective look and talking about the fading away and the rush to sleep and I cannot breathe. I was wondering if it's some type of sleep paralysis. And that's because the anxiety of sleep is another part of it, I think. But, and I could be wrong, but when I saw the I plead my Savior to release me, and I was dragged to hell, but now I'm free, and the palms on the back, I mean, it just sounds like, being held down and not being able to breathe and, not being able to stop anything that's happening or what you're feeling or seeing or all of that, right? And we've all seen, some of the ghost story shows and paranormal shows that talk about feeling that sense of sleep paralysis and the lifelong terror halftime dream. I plead my Savior to release me. Man, this one just bites you right straight in the ass. And it's just like, we've heard from Disclosure and Copycat and Wallflower of all of these looks in that describe it not in this dark and sinister way, but this one just kind of smacks you in the face and says, and again, I don't know who deals with it, right? I mean, I'll say Tatiana. I mean, it just seems like something that she could put into such elegant words and talk about. But then again, they all can, so I could be wrong. But man, that just hits different. It's a great song. And I'm astonished by it because it honestly, it breaks my heart. I've never dealt with this. But I've heard people tell the stories of it, feeling like they can't breathe and it was very real to them, and that's a whole nother topic on paranormal and the anxiety and things like that I'm not an expert on. I like to write songs. I like to react to music, but this literally, like, this hits deep because it's just, you want to give her a hug, and anybody that's dealt with these feelings, she puts it in such a way that just is so emotional. I was not expecting this. Wow. Let me switch it back. Wow. It's another, and I'm not astonished that it was this great of a song because that's what we've seen. This album just hits in a different way. And I think I did read an article when I was trying to look up the thing about, I think it was Mediator Disclosure. I forget which one of the two was about, the interview that they did. And it mentioned one of the lines where it talked about that this CD was therapy. And that's how Tatiana was viewing it. And, so this doesn't shock me that it's a deeply looking within song, but this topic is not something that really a lot of people, especially in the music industry, necessarily dive into, right? We hear the songs about how they deal with different things and being depressed or sad or happy or whatever, or having anxiety, but this just paints a picture. And wow, I love it. I do. I do. I love it. I love it. I love it. It definitely, it's a darker song, but I think for a lot of people that may have experienced this, or dealing with it, it's going to give them a sense that they're not alone in it, right? I mean, because you can hear people talk about it and tell stories about it, but when someone can bring it to life and paint this picture of exactly what they're feeling, that, for some people can provide them their own therapy. So I really hope it does, because Tatiana is such a beautiful writer when it comes to this, and her voice is just amazing, right? The growl is the growl, but man, her voice just kind of just grabs you and pulls you in, and I absolutely love it. So that being said, I'm going to give myself the shameless plug as usual. So if you like the video, leave me a comment, hit that like button. If you like the content I'm putting out, hit that subscribe button. And that just, again, kind of gives me an idea. And I'll tell you, over the past 48 hours, I've kind of been blown away. I posted the Sabaton video, and I've watched the views jump. I've watched the subscriber count jump. And it's just one of those reaffirming things. And I owe it to y'all. Right. I'm just a guy that likes to look at the lyrics and try to understand where they're coming from and listen to the music, whether it's a genre that I listen to on a daily basis or not. That part I don't care. And I've got some different songs that I'm going to be looking at, that are not, a Jinjer or a metal bass, but I was just like, I was looking at random songs and I was like, oh, I'll try those. But again, it reaffirms what I'm doing, and I appreciate it. So, this is not just about me, it's us as a community. And I said it the other day for all the new subscribers, I don't care about race, religion, politics, or any of that, right? That's all separate. This is about a love of music, the stories that music tells, and really, regardless of all of those other boxes that society tries to put us in, we're fans of music and fans of a band and the song. And we unite over that, right? It's at its simplest form. You like that sound? Yeah, I do too. Oh, really? The song meant this to me. That's friendship, that's bonding. I mean, so, to be able to do this, in the spare time with everything that goes on in my personal life, it is just amazing. So I wanted to say thank you for that. Now, as always, I'll close my line of saying, if someone asks you to stop what you're doing, don't ask for 1, don't ask for 2, and certainly don't ask for 5. Someone asks you to stop what you're doing, always ask for just 10 more minutes. This is JTMM. I'm out.